let's see. We've got an update. This will be really awesome. Jaimie, Manor, you out there?
Yep, I'm here.
There's Nurse Jaimie. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Well, good. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for coming to give us an update. Specifically, well, we got to cover the bases for people that don't know you. Where are you calling from?
I'm from Clarksville, Tennessee.
Clarksville, Tennessee. And who introduced you to the ER Shred?
It was a combination of people. I couldn't even tell you now. It's like a
Well, that's okay.
It was about this time last year that I started hearing rumblings about it within our Isagenix group, and
Yeah.
people are saying they were doing the shred thing, and I'm like, whatever, I was going gross with school and stuff. But finally, I know for a fact, Erica Zinman and my one of my team members, Denise Brown, they basically got a hold of me on a Zoom call. They tricked me.
Oh
and
my
they, you've got to do this ER shred. You'd be great at it. And I'm like, you're crazy. But you're right. They were right. I should have listened.
Well, you did listen eventually, and we're all so grateful you did listen. You're one of our hearts of ER Shred, and we really appreciate all you've done. Specifically, well, what's your passion?
Definitely my family, and I just love to help people.
Beautiful. Well, nursing's a good thing to be involved in then. About that, you posted recently, and it kind of spoke to me. And I think it just spoke to the, Mimi talks a lot about the human experience of ER Shred, right? Yeah. And that we are human. And one of the things that I really didn't like about how I did my business, if you will, for many, many years was that it was this pretentiousness of, and you know what, our friend Karen just alluded to it as well, that she felt the need to lead the charge, but because that, we'll just call it that dynamic of, you've got to walk the talk exists, it puts a lot of undue pressure on people. And so for me, for instance, I couldn't use my own nutritional products for many years because they were making me sick. And I'm just not afraid to say that anymore. I was so afraid to say that ever to anybody because I thought, that's going to diminish, we got to pretend this is for everybody. And we got to pretend that, and in reality, there is no product out there that's a perfect and 100% for everybody. And so it's just been so refreshing to be vulnerable and to be honest. And one of the cool things we've seen with ER Shred is a lot of the people that couldn't use certain Isagenix products have been able to use them now, which has been awesome and exciting, including myself. So anyway, I wanted to ask you, just kind of speak to that post and, share with everybody, what you were talking about when you, just share with everybody like you did in the post, the experience you went through late last year and kind of where you've come to now. I think it's a story of hope, and I think it'll help a lot of people.
Okay. So about 2 years ago, I tried to go back into the medical field in my trained profession, which I was trained to be an X-ray tech. I'm a licensed X-ray tech. I practiced for almost 10 years until I had my third child, and I left the industry to raise my kids, homeschool them, and support my husband in his military career. And when I did try to go back into that field, even though I've maintained my license for 16 years, I didn't feel like I was able to go back. Like I was out of date. It'd been such a long time. The technology had changed. And the few interviews that I was called to do, they left me feeling like wanting, like I wasn't good enough or something. So I kind of took a step back and I said, well, I do want to help people. So I decided to go back to college in 2020, the end of 2020, to be a nurse, to be a registered nurse. It's a noble profession, and I was gung-ho. It's super competitive to get into. I mean, I was busting my butt, and I had a 4.0 grade point average. And I applied to the nursing program, and I got accepted around October of 2021, which should have been one of those peak moments in my life was not. I was terrified when I got accepted, and I didn't know why. And I just kind of buried it. I was like, no, you can do this. You're strong. You're tough enough, suck it up. Well, I was sucking it up for a while. And then I got my books for nursing school. I got my uniforms. I got everything. I started trying to read the books in December, and I started having full blown panic attacks. Like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't even focus. And I had to step back and reevaluate because it wasn't getting better. It was getting worse. And I was going downhill mentally so fast. And instead of looking forward to starting school in January 18th of 2022, the fear was getting worse. And I was like, something is wrong. And because of ER Shred, I was paying attention to what my mind and body were telling me, because that's one thing we teach in ER Shred is be intuitive. Listen to what your mind is telling you. Listen to your body. And I took a weekend, I took a step back, and through talking to friends and reaching out to people I know, and I suddenly realized that nursing was not what I wanted to do, not registered nursing. Mm-hmm. So I withdrew from the school. My husband's 100%. He was like, whatever you need to do, I just want you to be happy. So once I did that, I kind of just was like, I felt, when you've got this goal, this dream, and you think, this is it, I'm going to do it, right? I felt so disconnected and so lost after that. Like, what did I just do? I've worked so hard to do this, and now I'm not going to do it. And what are people going to think about me? So I kind of just sort of went inside and shut down through Christmas. I really wasn't posting much on Facebook. I was starting to tell some of my friends, some of my ER Shred friends, and they were so supportive and so non-judgmental. And that gave me hope. I was like, people understand. They understand where I'm coming from. It's not a shame thing to have depression, anxiety, mental breakdown. Well, at the same time, around December 21st, I happened to go into an urgent care clinic with my daughter for something. The lady who triaged us had a name badge that said X-ray tech. And I just started talking to her, and I shared my story with her. And she said, are you still licensed? And I said, yeah, I'm still licensed as an X-ray tech. She goes, fill out an application. She goes, I can train you. And basically almost exactly 1 month later, I started working at this clinic. I've been there. I've worked about 7 days total in the last 2 weeks because I'm part-time, but I'm also doing nursing duties and x-rays, and I love it. And it was a total God thing because it was not planned at all, but I found myself again, and I'm serving people. I'm helping people every day. I go in there with such a radiant attitude, and my coworkers just love me. They're like, you're not like an old person at all. You're sure you're 44 years old? And I am running around all day. It's 10-hour shift. And I'm like, you got something else to do? I'll do something else. What do you need me to do? And
you're the ER Shred Energizer Bunny.
It is, exactly. Yeah. I'm way more energized now than I was when I worked in my 20s as an X-ray tech. And these are young girls, and they're like sluggish and tired. And I'm like, let me tell you about what I'm doing,
That's so cool. So cool. I'm so happy for you. I want you to know that opening up like that, like you did, you didn't have to do that. And yet you did it because, for one, it feels good to be transparent. For another, everything we do, we hope to impact other people. And that's the beauty of our culture and our community. So I just wanted to commend you for being vulnerable, and for also, for caring enough about others in the community to do that for them. I felt like it was a gift. That's why I wanted to have you on the call, is because I feel like it's a gift, and I feel like everybody needs to hear that. If you think about it, things only maybe 5-6 weeks ago, things you might have said they were kind of down in the dumps for you.
Yeah, I think if you would have told me 6 weeks ago, you're going to be so happy, and you're going to find fulfillment again, and you're going to find your place in this world, I would have been like, you're crazy, but it's so amazing how things can. And it literally, at one point, I physically felt like I gave over my fear and stress to God. I said,
Yeah.
"You've got to help me because I can't anymore." And I said, "Take it."
Yeah.
And at that point, that's when the shift happened, the turnaround happened.
I want to ask you about that real
Yeah.
quick. That part of it where you say more intuitive, more self-aware. Why do you think that is? What is that? Why do people become more self-aware? Um,
I think
why do you feel more self-aware?
I think because since I started ER Shred back in June last year, I've learned from you guys, the leaders, the other ER shredders, that you have to listen to your body. You
Mm,
have to. And and once you start cleaning it out with the shred and getting off all the sugar and junk, the brain fog disappears. I feel like my brain is a supercomputer now.
yeah.
And like, I'm just going to give you a quick story about that. I haven't drawn blood in 16 plus years. They sent me into the room. They said, "Do you want to go try and draw this person's blood?" I was like, "Sure, I'll give it a shot." I came out like in less than 5 minutes with the tubes of blood, and they're like, "You got it?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was easy. What do you want me to do now?" So it's like all that stuff I knew in my 20s has come back just like that. And
Yeah.
I don't know if that would have happened if I wasn't on ER Shred, because I feel like my brain just operates different now.
You feel like cognitive function
Oh,
and
yeah, it's through the roof.
yeah. Yeah. I know the feeling. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And it compounds with time. It gets better.
Yeah. The longer I'm doing this, the more clearer it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Mad respect. Love you so much. You're awesome. Thank you so much for coming on to share that. I want you to know that this demonstrates for me and for so many others the depth of ER Shred. And that, to a lot of us, that's what we're craving depth. We are craving depth. We want the depth. And really every testimonial tonight has had depth. And I'm just so grateful for everybody that's come on and shared. Thank you so much to all of you. With that said, Jesse, if you are ready, I'm
Well,
going to turn it over to you, brother.
first off, Jaimie,
Yeah.
I love you guys.
I'm so excited
We
to
love you
have
too.
watched all of your journey. It's so awesome. Thank you. Like Sean said, thank you. I have a question for you, if you don't mind. What have you changed throughout this whole time? Like, have you changed a lot with like intake? Have you kept it really basic? Like, what more have you noticed around foods that we can share with people? Do we need all the options? Should we keep it simple? Like, you're a busy mama, you're busy on the go. Like, what can we, there's a lot of people that have these worries, and I
Yeah.
feel like I'd be doing them not a service if I didn't ask you that question, having the success and doing it so long.
That's a great question. I have found the foods that work for me, and I
Yep.
stick to them. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I eat every day.
Love this.
Shake, yeah.
This.
I have my buttered coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
I work out. I have my shake. I do one of the, I can't remember the name of it. It's the one Isagenix product. Serenity. Is it Serenity? Adaptogen elixir.
Oh, right.
Okay. Ionics. Yeah.
I do that in the morning, go to work, drink water all day. Lunchtime, I have my second shake, and I'll have usually a beef stick, a Chomp's beef stick. And then around 2, I have been able to work the e-shots back in, because like I said, I'm working 10-hour shifts, and I'm about to go to 12-hour shifts. But when I get home, I've gotten really good about, we're using the crock pot. So we prepare whatever meat ahead of time, so it's ready to go. Then when I get home, I do this. This is like, for me, it's like a religion now. It's an organic pink lady apple, because it's so crunchy and sweet. Kimchi, Korean sauerkraut, Kalamata olives, a little bit of the Dubliner cheese, and then whatever the meat is, and a ton of butter on that.
Yeah.
And pink Himalayan sea salt. And I do that like every single day. That's my regimen. And I exercise every single day before I go to work. So it's either walking, yoga, or rowing.
Yeah.
And I just follow that every single day. It's a no-brainer for me now.
And what makes you not want, like, people will say, "Oh my God, you don't get sick of that," and they'll say, "Oh my God,
Yeah.
you never eat a donut, you never have a cookie. Like, are you like deprived? Is this like, are you like tortured? Like, like, what would you say to that?"
I just don't want it anymore. And I actually crave the apples and the kimchi for dinner. That's what I crave is healthy food now.
Yeah.
It's not like I crave it like, that feeling you would get with like sugary stuff in the past where it's like, that saying you can't eat just one. Like I eat my apple and I'm satisfied. I don't want to go
Yeah.
eat 2 apples. I eat the apple and I'm satisfied, so it's the self portion control is very easy with this because I listen, I feel full, I'm done. It's so easy.
Yeah. And do you ever feel, I mean, do you have like cravings anymore? Do you feel starving ever? I mean, just,
No, honestly, I don't.
yeah,
I just feel satisfied all the time.
yeah.
I,
Pretty
I
cool, huh?
yeah, I did. I mean, even when I have my monthly cycle, I don't like the chocolate cravings. I just don't want
That's
it.
that's the second time we've heard about that now. Just want to bring that to attention.
Yeah.
That's not something to just brush away. I'm gonna leave it right there before we gotta be careful, but I'm just gonna bring that up. That's the second woman that said that now. Thank you, Jaimie. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.